First forecast brought to you by Stored at Home, rent-to-own portable buildings. Over the next couple of days, we have isolated shower and storm chances just like what we had out there for the day today. But what we're really keeping an eye on is the Gulf of Mexico, because we could have very heavy rain enter the forecast, and it's all going to be dependent on exactly where the system goes and where it stalls out. Yes, we're going to have either a subtropical or tropical depression develop in the next couple of days, and it is likely headed toward the Mississippi Delta, either toward New Orleans or Mobile. Right now, the exact track is unknown, but it could be bringing us some substantial rainfall. We're going to keep a very close eye on that. Tonight, increasing clouds around 70 degrees with our dew points once again very, very warm. And of course, I'll have all the details on the tropics and more in just a few minutes. Your ABC 31 News starts now.
Welcome to ABC 31 News tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Authorities confirm an employee is dead from an industrial accident at Procter & Gamble in Pineville. That is our big story tonight. A prominent resident of LaSalle Parish died early this morning when the machine he was operating apparently caught fire. The family of 56-year-old Alan Kendrick of Gina confirmed his identity. He was especially well known for directing the LaSalle Parish Community Choir, which stages concerts at least twice a year, both with voices and handbells. The state fire marshal is being called in to work the case. Procter & Gamble issued a statement saying they have connected with the employee's family and will support them and all their employees during this difficult time. The plant is on shutdown and workers were sent home. The fire marshal's office says the explosion of that equipment created a fire that was contained and did not spread elsewhere. A P&G official says this is the first fatality at that plant in more than 4 decades. With Memorial Day this weekend, the Joint Readiness Training Center in Fort Polk held their annual Memorial Day ceremony this morning. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips has the story.
Since 2003, a total of 96 soldiers from Fort Polk have lost their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan. Today, during the Joint Readiness Training Center and Fort Polk Memorial Day ceremony, America's fallen soldiers were honored, and the 96th name was added to the Global War on Terrorism Memorial. Specialist Alexander Missildine was added to the memorial. His mother attended the ceremony and spoke about her son.
God told him from a very young age what his destiny in life was going to be a soldier. He got here to Fort Polk December of 2015 and had been here since then. Made a choice to move to another unit that was deploying because that was what he wanted to do. He left on Labor Day of 2017, traveled, got into Iraq, and then on October 1st his convoy hit IED and he was gone.
The traditional laying of the installation memorial wreath, a 21-gun salute, raising of the national colors from half to full staff, and the playing of taps all took place. And the ceremony's keynote speaker was Brigadier General Patrick Frank, commander of the JRTC and Fort Polk.
I've been a battalion commander in combat. I've been a brigade commander in combat. The years specifically on that monument when I was in command really touched me as a commander who had lost soldiers on the battlefield. There are officers, non-commissioned officers, soldiers who are sitting out here in the audience that have that same type of personal contact with loss on the battlefield.
Memorial Day will be observed on Monday, May 28th, to honor fallen soldiers and remember the thousands of men and women who are still deployed around the globe, far from home. At Fort Polk, Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
Governor John Bel Edwards is lobbying the people of Louisiana for a budget he says will be fair and bipartisan. He spoke at a rally at the state capitol, urging lawmakers inside the building to get to work.
Well, the time for pretending is over. It is time to fix the problem. We can do it, and we can hit the reset button in Louisiana, and we can make sure that we adequately fund all of our critical priorities. And yes, we can still give a $400 million tax cut to the people of Louisiana.
The governor is recommending revenue-raising methods that he says will keep the state away from the so-called fiscal cliff. An off-duty Rapids deputy and a canine officer are credited with last night's capture of 3 suspects for burglary after a high-speed chase and a search through the woods. They arrested 19-year-old Hannah Ann Warren, 36-year-old Shonda Yolanda Delcourt, and 20-year-old Gage Michael Kittinger, all Pineville. The incident started when the deputy saw a subject coming out of a house on Cody Lane off Twin Bridges Road. The pursuit began and the 2 women were captured near CC Road. The canine officer later took Kittinger into custody. He did require medical assistance. All are charged with burglary, criminal damage, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. Delcourt and Kittinger are also charged with illegal carry. 3 Louisiana National Guard members, an aviation team, are headed to the Texas-Mexico border. The Guard sent 1 Lakota helicopter with 2 pilots and a crew chief to assist the U.S. Border Patrol by providing air support along the border. This is a 90-day deployment and was requested by the state of Texas and approved by Governor John Bel Edwards. The American Heart Association expanded its Go Red for Women luncheon this year. The group offered door prizes and health information immediately after the luncheon. Visitors were told about the risks of heart disease and stroke. Go Red for Women inspires women to make lifestyle changes, mobilize communities, and shape policies to help save lives. The Kiwanis Club held their weekly meeting earlier today, and this week was special. The club presented $1,000 scholarships to Key Club students Tess Brown and Emma Armstrong. They also named Emily Blaney the Teacher of the Year. Every year, the Kiwanis Club raises more than $100 million to support different causes at the local level. CLTCC held its commencement ceremony this afternoon. More than 200 students from 9 campuses received their diplomas. President of Clico Corporate Holding William Bill Fonte was their commencement speaker. Well, you've heard of Cinco de Mayo, but the Fort's Randolph and Bulow State Historic Site is hosting a Fiesta de Mayo event this weekend.
It's our first festival of this nature that we've done, our Fiesta de Mayo program. We are going to do several different activities to kind of promote not just the Civil War and our site, but also the Hispanic culture in this area, as well as how it ties in with the Civil War and things that happened in the Red River Campaign. We're going to have different crafts. We're going to have different children's activities, traditional games, then some more fun games. We're actually going to do some kickball relays, some yard dominoes, which are actually a historic game. Then we are also going to have music all day long and a Chihuahua beauty contest at 2 o'clock.
Fiesta de Mayo will take place this Saturday, May 26th, at the Fort's Randolph and Bulow Historic Site. Activities begin at 10 a.m. and admission is $4. 2 programs at NSU are listed among the top 10 in the nation by some higher education website. Those are the Bachelor's Program in Computer Information Systems and the Doctor of Nursing Practice Program. Well, it is good to plan ahead for the relentless heat to come. On this edition of Get It Growing, LSU Ag Center horticulturist Dan Gill suggests some heat-tolerant plants that will provide color throughout the summer.
You know, I have a forecast for the summer this year. It's long, it's hot, and it's brutal. Now that really puts a lot of stress on our landscape plants. In particular, bedding plants that we rely on for beautiful color in flower beds and containers and window boxes. These plants have really got to hold up to 90-degree days and 70-something degree nights for a very long time until September or October. I've surrounded myself here with a bunch of the very best of the heat-tolerant bedding plants for Louisiana gardeners. Now these are all in hanging baskets or pots, but all these plants are outstanding in beds as well. I just chose these because there were so many plants together that I could show you. Now let's start off with this gorgeous ornamental grass. This is Fireworks Pennisetum. It's a really great plant for sunny areas. Indeed, all these plants do well in the sun. Don't forget the coleuses and their brilliant colored foliage. They stay attractive all summer. And if you want something cool and delightful, Dusty Miller with its silvery leaves is a wonderful foil to the hotter colors. Blue is great in the garden, psychologically cooling. This is Evolvulus Blue Days, a wonderful plant. This particular one is called Blue My Mind. This is periwinkle, and of course everybody knows how well they perform here during the summer. Don't overlook angelonias. Here's some beautiful ones here. the lantanas that bloom so beautifully and attract butterflies, and finally, cannas produce gorgeous foliage as well as flowers. A quick overview of many of the plants that will grow all summer, provide color until late summer or fall, and do beautifully here in Louisiana. Forget it growing. I'm Dan Gill with the LSU Ag Center.
And for more information on lawn and garden topics, you can call your parish LSU Ag Center office or visit the website there on your screen.
When temperatures rise, some don't always have the luxury of turning on a thermostat. That's why KLAX-TV and area businesses have teamed up to form the Spring Fan Drive for the elderly. You can help by dropping off a fan at a location near you. Fans will be collected and distributed by each parish's Council on Aging provider. Remember, keeping cool isn't something that comes easy for everyone. Help us to bring some relief from the summer heat to those less fortunate.
Temperatures out there today once again in the upper 80s to lower 90s depending on location and cloud cover, whether or not you saw any rain. The best chance of rain was off to our south and east, and you can see that with the temperature chart there to the south of Baton Rouge. It's where the heaviest of rain fell, and a couple of spotty showers here and there, but most of us sitting in the upper 80s to near 90, with the exception of Shreveport, getting all the way up to 92 degrees. Now the surface map for tomorrow, much like what we had today, isolated showers and storms, best chance of rain will once again kind of be on an axis from Shreveport down to about New Orleans, Baton Rouge area, so that may or may not include us. Isolated chances will put it around 30% for the day tomorrow, but the humidity, yes, it's going to be rather noticeable once again. Dew points up into the 70s. It just feels uncomfortable outside. Anytime you get the sunshine on top of that, it feels even worse. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that, but it's going to be uncomfortable out there, I promise. Now looking at our hour-by-hour forecast once again for the day tomorrow, we should have those temperatures once again climbing up into the upper 80s, so it'll be feeling like the upper 90s thanks to that just downright miserable dew point in the 70s to about 73. Shower and storm activity probably ramps up as we go into the late evening hours going into tomorrow night before that activity dies down once we lose the heating of the day. So once we drop back down into the 70s, we should see the activity die out as well. Future radar starting this at midnight going forward. Notice all the rain that's still left out there starts to die out, but as we go into tomorrow afternoon, a much more expansive area going from western parts of Mississippi into the eastern side of Louisiana down through Lafayette and New Orleans. That will push in as we go into the evening hours, and then into tomorrow night we'll see that die out. And then again, by the time we head into Saturday, what you see there behind me, well, that's the beginning rain shield of what will soon be subtropical or tropical storm, or I should say tropical depression out there, because this is going to remain a very weak system. What it will do is bring lots and lots of moisture across a very big area. And you notice we're right here, so we're not really in that area of risk, but there is a chance that this system ends up coming ashore about Mobile area to New Orleans and could even back its way in. Now, most of the rain is going to be on the east side of this system or very near the circulation, so it will take that storm getting all the way to us before we really get into that risk area of heavy rain because of where the heaviest of rain is going to be. It's going to be on the east side of this system, just the way things are going to play out. But we're going to keep a close eye on it anyways, because the chance of very heavy rain is still there. You notice we're not that far away from the 5+ inch area around Hattiesburg, and still projecting between 1 and 3 inches of rain. Again, track is going to be very, very important. And of course, you see the warm temperatures returning by next week.
Fort Polk invites you to an evening of honor, gratitude, and rock and roll with the Lieutenant Dan Band. Let's have some fun and get ready to rock the house on June 9th. Enjoy an afternoon of golf for a good cause at Oak Wing Golf Club. Register your team and support the LSUA Alumni and Friends Association Scramble for Scholarships. Let's celebrate all things insects at the 11th Annual Kent House Bug Day on June 2nd. Enjoy learning, getting crafty, and of course, meet Smokey Bear. Join us at Oakwing Golf Club for the Gary Grand Memorial Golf Tournament on June 1st. Proceeds help support our youth through educational and recreational opportunities. For more community events, visit us on Facebook or at KLAXTV.com.